Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you guys how to replace the pigtail connector for your Lincoln MKZ hybrid. And this is for the heated and cooled seats module. If your heated and cooled seats don't work, 98% of the time, this is the reason why. This is a very common issue on these Lincoln MKZs, and it also happens with Ford vehicles as well. It happens to almost all Lincoln MKZs ranging from 2013 to 2020 because the wire gets hot and melt due to high resistance. The control module itself has two grounds, but only one is used from the factory. But today we'll be adding another ground and hopefully solve this issue once and for all. Hit that subscribe button and show your support to my channel. My channel has grown a lot and it's all thanks to you guys for your continuous support. Let's try to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. For this project, you will need a new pigtail connector. I ordered this pigtail connector on Amazon and it comes with an extra ground wire as well. The only concern that I have long term is that the pigtail I ordered on Amazon uses an 18 gauge wire, whereas the actual connector from the factory uses a 16 gauge wire. So the 16 gauge wire is a bit thicker compared to the 18 gauge wire. It's been about a week since I installed this new pigtail and so far so good with nearly an hour of use a day. You'll also need some butt splices, T45, T50, and T10 Torx bit, a plier, flathead screwdriver, and an electrical wire stripper tool. A power tool comes in handy as well if you have one. So let's get on with the video here and then I'll show you guys what the first step is. The seat control module is underneath the front passenger seat. I made a video on how to remove the seat, which I will link in the description below, so take a look at that first before tackling on this project. I'm going to fast forward as I remove the front seat here. The front two bolts are T45 size and the rear two bolts are T50 size. Once the bolts are removed, slide the seat all the way back on its track using the seat adjuster. Also adjust the seat backrest all the way up to the front. This way the seat won't be in your way and it will balance itself out and not tip over. You can also completely remove the seat and bring it out of the vehicle, but I rather do this instead. So this is what I mean. The backrest is all the way pushed to the front and it's kind of on its own balance now. So it's not going to tilt anywhere. So here we have it. This is the culprit. This is the control module and the large pigtail you see is the one of concern. So let's remove these two T10 bolts and take off the control module first. This is the control module and the large pigtail is the one that we will be replacing. The ground wire is actually melted, which is kind of scary. I think this can be a fire hazard and I don't know why Ford hasn't issued a recall for this because it affects a lot of Ford vehicles, Ford and Lincoln. So definitely something to know if you're buying a vehicle, especially a Lincoln MKZ or a Ford Fusion of that sort. I remember 3 years ago when I started smelling something burning inside the cabin while I was driving. I had to pull over and pop the hood to check if everything was okay because I thought something was burning inside the engine bay. But it turns out it was this pigtail, which pretty much melted due to the heat. I will not be disconnecting the battery for this project. You are welcome to do so. Instead, I will be disconnecting the power to the seat itself, which is this large connector right here. So this is that connector. You just have to push it in, push that gray bracket in, and then it'll kind of clamp upwards. So I'll kind of demonstrate here. It takes a little bit of pressure to push it in. And then once it's in, so you gotta push it out and then pull the plug back up like this. There we go. So now there's no power to the seat. Cut the wires using your pliers individually. All the wires are color coded and have different colors except for the 2 green wires you see here. And you can cut all the wires and 1 green wire and leave the other green wire still attached to the plug. Right now, I just cut the ground wire, which is the black one, and then I'm going to splice it right here using my splice tool. And then I'm going to attach the butt splice connector to it. Make sure when you buy the butt splice connectors, confirm that it supports both a 16 and 18 gauge wire. Now I'm going to put the butt splice in and do it in a twisting motion and use the wire stripper and clamp the end of the butt splice just like this. So there we go, and make sure it's nice and tight. So this is going to be done for every single wire. So I'm going to fast forward as I do that. I'm just going to fast forward as I cut each wire. Don't cut all the wires at the same time. Do it one by one and leave one of the green wires still attached to the connector. That way you don't get confused on which green wire goes where. There we have it. As you can see, I still have one of the green wires still intact. So now comes the tedious part of stripping the wire. I would strip 1 centimeter of the wire, which is enough for the butt splice. So I'm going to fast forward as I do that now. Now I'm going to attach the butt splice connector and clamp it in like I did earlier. Make sure to twist the butt splice onto the wire for a secure fit. Once all the butt splices are in, we're going to grab our new pigtail and connect it. The new pigtail wires are all black, so you'll have to match it based on the color and position of where the original wires were on the old connector. For example, this black wire on the original connector was in the bottom left pin on the old connector. So I would connect that black ground wire to the bottom left pin on the new connector. Thankfully, these wires are color coded, otherwise we would have had to cut, splice, and connect each wire one at a time. On the new pigtail connector, there's already a pre-cut slit on each wire, so you don't have to strip it using the wire stripper. You can literally just pull it off with your hand, just as I'm showing you here. See, there's the slit right there, and then you just pull it off and boom. It's the same process as, with the butt splice. You connect the wire to the butt splice and clamp it in. So I'm going to fast forward as I do that for each pin. Now we can finally cut the last green wire off the old connector, strip it, connect it to the butt splice, clamp it in, and connect it to the new wire. So once that is done, we are left with the extra ground wire from the new Pigtail. So I'll show you where I connected, I'll show you where I connected that on the seat. But before that, let's make sure that this all works. So let me just finish this off and I'll show you, let's see if everything works as it should first. Once that is done, now connect the seat power back on and make sure to fully lock it in. By that, I mean you have to fully close the latch in. Otherwise, there will be no power going to the seat, which almost scared me. Take a look at the next clip. Alright, so we have the key here. So this is connected. So let's start up the car. Actually, before we do that, let's plug this in. So hopefully everything works as it should. I'll ground this later, but I just want to see if all the seats, everything just works. So let's plug this in. So plugged everything in. So moment of truth. Let's turn on the car. Oh, let me go to the other side to do that. Let's see if this works. Okay, let me go to the other side so you can hear the clicking to see if it actually activates. Okay, ready? So let me turn it on. Let's hear for the click. Huh. Well, that sucks. Oh, okay, well, that scared me for a second. I guess we have to completely lock this guy in, otherwise it won't work. So let's turn this off. Okay, so as you can see, there's no power to the seat, right? So I'm assuming it's, maybe we have to fully insert this guy in and then kind of lock this in. Okay, now let's see. There we go. So we have power. So we got power. So moment of truth. Take two. There we go. That's my work light. Don't mind that. But as you can hear, the fans are running for the heated seats, or sorry, the cooled seats. So I'm gonna run this for a little bit to see if it overheats or if there's any problems. So I'll be back in 30 minutes to see how everything is working. In the meantime, I vacuumed under the seat, make sure everything is clean. And while I was doing that, everything seemed okay. The control module did get warm after 30 minutes, but the wire itself was very cool. But I remember on my 2019 MKZ hybrid, the heated and cooled function on the seats would automatically turn off after about 30 minutes or so. I'm not too sure if the later models did that, but on my 2015 MKZ, it stays on for hours, and I haven't noticed it shut down automatically. Maybe on the newer MKZs it was a feature to reduce this overheating issue. I'm not too sure, but what's your experience? Let me know in the comments down below. As you can see, I'm putting some electrical tape around each connection. You don't have to, but I'm just doing it for extra protection against water and whatnot. Let's put back the control module to the seat and talk about the extra ground wire. I want to put the extra ground wire where it's bare metal and not just painted over. So the only visible spot I can see where we can do that is the center right there. So I'm going to be drilling that because it's bare metal. So I'm going to drill a small hole there, but I'm going to put something behind this so I don't drill into the wire accidentally, because if you do, it's probably going to be game over. So I found this door latch here, so that's what I'm going to use as protection back there. So I'm going to start drilling here. Once the drilling is done, I got a small screw that I use for plate covers on household outlets. That works perfectly here. And so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to screw that in, and I'm going to strip the extra ground wire about 5 centimeters and tie it around the screw here, which I'll show you guys in a bit. Yeah, as you can see here, I'm just twisting the wire around the screw here. And then after doing that, I'm just going to put some electrical tape around it. So this is what it looks like. So now I'm just going to quickly put some electrical tape around it. And hopefully this should solve this issue of this plug overheating. It's been about a week and I haven't really noticed anything. I've been using the heated seats for about an hour almost each day. So it's been doing okay, I guess, so far. So only time will tell with this kind of things. But other people have also done similar methods and they said it's a permanent fix. So again, only time will tell. That's going to be it for today's video, folks. Hope you all enjoyed, and hopefully it solved your heated seat issue. I will try my very best to help you guys out with any questions you may have. See you all next time.